right, we got more Super Bowl week talk with one of the biggest Niners fans around. Let's go. Let's go. As long as they win by 3, I'm okay. Okay. So I got plus 2.5. Niners by 3, right? Then we're okay. Welcome to Last Minute Betting with the Sports Nuts. Powered by OddsJam, the premier odds comparison company with all these great things like shop.oddsjam.com, where you can get all kinds of cool gear like this hat right here. Yeah. And the OddsJam Partner Program link is below in the description. 50% revenue share. Go there now. Also, something new is happening. Mike and I are putting out picks on a daily basis. Tony and I have our golf picks in there, and you never know when Jabari and Kia may join up and put some picks out there, and we may do something like that. Collaborate here in the future. The bottom line here is, folks, you don't have to spend a lot of money to make money when you do this with the Sports Nuts. It's under Bob LaGrasso. Link is below in the description for both the Sports Nuts plays and for the golf plays. All right. That is in the description too. So there you go. Promoting a little bit of our own shit here, Jabari. Now I got to ask you, my friend. Did you see any of the show last night?
I didn't catch it, any of the show last night. What happened?
Well, okay. Well, I opened my big friggin' mouth.
Well, let me.
Let me. No. No.
Let me. I should be the one speaking. Nobody wants to hear anything you have to say after you said it all last night. And we saw the results. Look, we saw the results. You were on Edmonton beating the Knights last night. I think I got laughed at. Told I didn't know nothing about hockey.
I never laughed.
You know how great the Oilers are. Vegas being at home means nothing. They got a bunch of injuries. Blah blah blah. The layoff is pointless. Means nothing. Edmonton has all the momentum.
I never said that.
You sure did.
I said Connor McDavid had all the momentum. You didn't listen. Connor McDavid. Do you know who he is? He's the best player in the NHL. I don't know.
He was on the team that lost last night that you were backing so heavily. Or wait a minute. You weren't backing them heavily. You were backing the Hurricanes last night heavily. 5 units.
That's because into making
I didn't talk you into a thing.
Yeah, you did. You go.
I said I want a 5-unit play to fade.
5-unit play, Bob. This is exactly what you said. You go. You got a 5-unit play, Bob? Like, a 3-unit play is stupid.
I wanted more. I wanted a 5-unit play, and you gave it to me, and I appreciate that because.
I bet. Hold on, and I bet him Jabari $100.
Yeah,
and I lost.
And you froze up there with your dial-up internet. We got Randall says I did too, Mike. Yeah, we just got laughed at. Just laughed at. Tony, beautiful. Bob was hating on emphasis on hating on Vegas on home ice. Not sure there's many Barnes in the league.
Out of here.
I don't know what to tell you other than go rewatch the show last night. And you'll be the one laughing because you're going to listen to this guy just rant. And then he leaves the show because, he didn't like the fact that, he left there too. And he should, Jabari, he should. That's embarrassing. We were laughed at. Me, Randall, Tony, just laughed at by him. We know nothing about hockey, boys. I'm the hockey king here, and Edmonton is on a 16-game winning streak, and they have all the momentum, and it doesn't matter if Vegas is. And he mutes me. And he mutes me from backstage. What a class act this guy is.
Yeah, baby. Here's the bottom line, okay? Now, I'm just going to tell you this, all right?
Bob, we appreciate it. Tony says it here.
Here, let me.
Good thing he gave us Vegas injury report, though. That mattered. It did.
All right, I'm done laughing. I just want to say one thing. Momentum had nothing to do with that game last night. Momentum.
We never said it did.
Oh yeah, Randall did. Yes, he did.
No, he did. What?
Did you not read the chat earlier today?
He said no. You were the one saying that.
No. He was thinking that their momentum.
He's going to blame Randall. Unreal.
No, will you just listen to me? Will you just listen to me?
Unreal.
Okay. Here's the bottom line. It wasn't the momentum. It was the pressure. The pressure got to the Oilers. I thought that they were ready to take the next step, meaning become a championship team.
Bob, they won 16 in a row. They're still a championship caliber team. They lost and had to.
That was a big step for them. 5 games in hand on the Golden Knights. 5 games in hand and only 5 points behind them. They could have almost put a dagger in them in the Golden Knights and put themselves on the road to second place and home ice advantage in the first round. They did not handle the pressure. And you know what?
And
Aiden Hill stole the game. Now, as far as the Canucks and the Hurricanes are concerned, owe you $100. I'll probably pay you like $5 a week. All right.
Unreal. They're unreal, man. That's hockey. Goalie stole it.
All right.
Had nothing to do with this being a beautiful spot to back Vegas. Nothing to do with that.
Oh, man.
Unreal.
That's hockey. You're right. It is. That's hockey. It is. I agree that you were saying that.
No, that's what you said. That's what you said. You said that's
my response to what he said. You know what? I'm not going to argue about this. Jabari, how you doing?
No, I love it. I love it. This is Stephen A. and Max Kellerman for me. This is what this is.
Well, we're going way back in time. I hardly remember Clemson, Alabama when they. Wow, you still haven't paid that? My God, that was like 10 years ago. It feels like, holy cow, Bob.
He never paid off. He never paid off on the bet that he lost to me where he was supposed to wear my hat all friggin' day long. Now he's not on these streams anymore. So a lot fucking good that did. All right, let's get off this crap. All right, leave me alone. Get away.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you're beating up on an old man. Come on. I can't keep everything.
It was a dinner bet and the place closed down. Jeez, Bob.
Huh?
It's been that long?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the bet that you lost, Randall, where you were supposed to wear my hat on the show for the whole day. But you said you weren't honoring that bet. You don't remember that? All right. Let's get to football. NFL, the Super Bowl. Do you guys want to keep on going down this road or what do you want to do? I'd like to get our guest in here, Mike. He joins us for a reason.
I'm having fun. I am having fun either way. I'm telling you right now, this is what I come here for. There's not much football, but there's a lot of Bob and Mike right now.
You know what? I'm going to go drink me a fucking beer, period. All right.
Yeah, that was another bet he lost, Jabari. He bet last year that the Blackhawks wouldn't win in a game, and he was just guaranteeing it. And he had a Bud Light St. Louis Blues Stanley Cup champion beer behind him. Mm-hmm. And the bet was that if the Blackhawks won, he had to drink it and he did.
5 year. It was a 5-year-old.
5-year-old beer. Yes.
Oh,
that was some skunky shit, man.
Yeah, I bet.
That was some skunky stuff. All right, I'm back. I got me a beer. Randall talked me into it. How's that?
You don't need any of that.
Huh? What do you mean?
You don't need any of that.
Why is that?
Another 5-year-old beer?
I gotta go up.
My goodness. He just lost his.
Oh man, this is too funny.
This is classic. Funny. Bob and his dial-up internet. Bob trying to fix his green screen, and geez, driving the old man to drink. Oh, that was classic. Anyway, Jabari, let's jump into this football game a little bit here. You know, you're a big Niners fan. Are you worried having to go against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs in this spot again?
Yes.
Yeah.
Short answers, yeah. Medium answers, yeah, for sure, because defensively we haven't looked the greatest in the playoffs.
Yeah.
We've given up a lot of yards. Gave up a lot of yards to Green Bay. Almost gave up the game to Detroit. So
exactly, yeah. Now, I would like to think that San Francisco has learned from that. They know that's not going to happen against Kansas City. We cannot do that against this team. If we play like that early like they did against Green Bay and Detroit, they probably don't come back and survive this, because then they're going to be forced to pass the ball a lot. And that's where the Chiefs' strength is in that secondary. So, yeah, definitely a little worried for San Francisco in this spot. Nice, Bob.
No problem.
Yeah, it's saying it is one thing, doing it is another. I can't tell you how many times the Eagles thought, well, we can't allow Patrick Mahomes to do what he did in the Super Bowl, such and such and such. I'm sure they thought that at halftime. I'm sure they thought that in the third quarter. I'm sure they thought that before the game-winning drive, and it didn't happen. So, I mean, we'll see. Either it's going to come out and Brock Purdy's going to be the first Mr. Irrelevant to actually take his team and win the Super Bowl, or, Patrick Mahomes gets his third ring. Personally, for me, I'm on Kansas City plus 2.5 because I don't think the Niners blow them out. The Niners, we're not a blowout team unless they're just absolutely below 500. But there hasn't been a team this year where I've seen them blow them out and they've been above 500. We didn't do it against well, I guess we blew Philly out by 13. I guess is what you want to call it. We lost to Baltimore. We barely lost against Los Angeles. They were above 500. I guess we blew Dallas out, okay. But pretty much everybody else were close wins or close losses. So,
yeah.
All right, I got to get to a couple comments like this one. Tony took Debo over 78.5 rush and receiving yards. He needs that in order for the Niners to win. The Niners are going to win. Debo's going to have a big game, and so is McCaffrey, right?
Yeah,
no doubt.
Or it'll have to be Ayuk and McCaffrey or Ayuk, Kittle, McCaff. But either way, we're going to have to keep up with Pat. Plain and simple.
All right. Stephen Batsa got here. What did you guys do to Bob? I just got here. Driving the old man to drink. Exactly. Lay off my ass. I'm an old guy, 65, man. Come on. No, we do not.
No, we don't, Justin. Do not. Yeah, I mean, this game is going to maybe come down to mistakes. You see it a lot. And I think the 49ers have got to not try and do too much. They just got to stick to what they do. Don't overreact when Patrick Mahomes drives the team down, gets a touchdown. You don't have to make up that touchdown in one or two plays. You got to keep them on the sidelines, run the football, stay committed to the run against this defense. Nobody will do that, and I don't understand why, because that is, I feel like, the one spot you can have success against them, and you got to pick and choose your spots when you're throwing the ball on that secondary. I expect a lot of screens, a lot of short passes, forcing these guys to come up and tackle Debo and things like that. I'm not really sure right offhand how well the Chiefs are tackling in the secondary, Jabari, but I would say they're probably decent, but it doesn't matter. This is Deebo Samuel. So regardless of how good you are, that's not something you want to have to do a lot. So I expect the 49ers to utilize Deebo in the short passing game and run game a lot. Force these guys to tackle him in the open field, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Agree with you 100%, Mike. So let's get to some
And else to
comments.
add on that.
Leaning Clippers Heat Golden State. He hasn't locked in his parlay yet. Boy, he got the biggest comebacks in 25 years in Chicago Bulls history last night. And that was one of the plays that Steven Batza had, and his parlay blew up there, and also Calgary screwed him too. What the hell? The Flames go into Boston and win 4-1.
Yeah.
Last night was a weird night, okay? In the
Goaltender
NHL.
stole it, didn't he?
It was a weird night.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Tony, USC basketball and Bronny James have been pretty terrible, but he's taken them at plus money tonight against Cal. Boy, any thoughts there? Anybody?
Yeah, Bronny's getting more playing time though now. He's gonna come into his own. We knew he was not a one and done talent going into USC. He's not nearly as talented as his dad is. When he comes into the league, he'll be a nice 3-and-D wing. He's not gonna be what people are trying to make him into, which is Bron. He's not Bron. So
no, he won't be that. I definitely agree with that. Kuminga, I mean, man, what can you say about him? I mean, 18.5 points seems pretty easy for him. Assuming that Steph doesn't decide to, shoot like crazy, I guess, and go for 60 plus.
Yeah.
Kuminga's getting a lot of playing time. He's been arguing with Kerr to get that. And it's actually coming off the heels of Clay actually being pretty bad. He's been pretty bad. He's been pretty vocal about it in the media as well. 18.5 is pretty good for Kuminga. So, I mean, you should have a really good chance to hit that against Philly. But it all is just going to depend on how well Philly can play them, because Philly can play good and then they can play bad without Joel. So I don't know what version of Philly you're really going to get right now.
In regards to your Lightning pick there, I'm telling you, I was almost on them today. But after last night, and by the way, my pick of the night lost. So my free pick is now 4-5 and down 6.4 units. So you know what I did, Mike and Jabari? I came back to fight another day. Okay. I fell off that horse, and then I got back on, and I rode it, and then I fell off again. But you know what I'm doing? I watch me a lot of Yellowstone. I'm getting back on that sucker and riding it again, because tonight I am taking the Wisconsin Badgers at -5.5. It's a 4-unit play, baby, and you better go check it out. Wisconsin, a much better team than the Wolverines. Even though they're playing at Michigan, I expect Wisconsin to roll. You know what? You can either tail me or fade me. Which one do you want to do, Mike? You tailing or fading?
Oh, I'm gonna fade. I mean, I'm hot right now. Yeah. I mean, I'm up a lot of units fading you. You just showed it. I mean, up, 6 units fading you. Why would I stop now? Steven Batza wants to know about who do you guys trust on the spread tonight? I don't really want this -7. I do like the Rangers tonight. I mean, they've already played. They played a game against Colorado. They're at home again. This is going to be Tampa Bay's first game back since the layoff, and I think the Rangers having that game under their belt, especially against the Colorado team that they beat in overtime. I think they can get the job done at home tonight. I really do. And remember, Quick is in net tonight, and he's been pretty good.
JQ.
He's been pretty good. So I do like the Rangers at home tonight. I know some of you. I know Justin is on Tampa Bay. But I do like New York tonight.
And to add on to that, if you're looking at NBA things, take the Cleveland spread tonight. They're playing the Wizards. Wizards stink. Cleveland, and there's a lot of talk about there, but just to summarize, Cleveland's been on an absolute tear. They've won, I think, what in their last like 15 games. I think they're like 14 and or 13 and 2 or something like that, but they're definitely 9 and 1 in the last 10 games. They blew out Milwaukee. They've blown out a bunch of different teams. They're actually second in the East right now, if you could believe that. So yeah, I would take the Cleveland spread if you can find it at 11, minus 11. That's fine. Minus 11.5 is fine. Yeah, minus 10.5 is great. I have it at minus 10 even, and I also took it at minus 9. I threw $50 on both of that, so I'm coming home with some money tonight.
Yeah, and the Cavs, the only team in the last 8-9 games that have beaten the Clippers. That's the Clippers' last loss came against the Cavaliers, and before that they'd rattled off 4 or 5 in a row, the Clippers. So the Cavaliers, the Clippers deservedly so. They've been hot. People talking about them being number 1 in the West. But you're not hearing a lot about the Cavaliers, who are kind of quietly on the same type of tear and just beat the Clippers.
Clippers are actually number 1 in the West. Cavs number 2 in the East. So I mean, it's starting to heat up. Now we're starting to see who's healthy, who's really coming together and getting a squad. The Cavs are playing great basketball. They're great basketball, but they're still 5 games behind Boston. I just don't see anybody beating Boston. I'm sorry, Boston's 23-3 at home. They're a great team. They're stacked. If they don't win a championship this year, there's a problem. There's a problem. You have Kristaps. You have pretty much an all-star starting 5: Drew Holiday, JT, JB, Kristaps, Porzingis, and I don't even know who their 5th is. But whoever it is, it doesn't really matter. You have 4 or 5 all-star caliber players. So you don't win a championship this year, there's something wrong.
Yeah, they definitely. They definitely are in championship or bust mode. There's no doubt about that.
All right.
But yeah, I mean,
I'm going to take over. Let me pop up the positive EV page. Let's get a little business done here. All right.
All right.
Now, I want to tell you folks that, there are people out there that think, oh my God, what about this platinum plan with OddsJam? My goodness, $6.99. Can I make any money doing that? Well, yeah, you can. If you play live positive EV, which there are none right now, but you know how many pre-match positive EV plays that we play on a daily basis. Now, if you're on the platinum plan and you have live EV, you also have automatic refresh. Now, there may not be a play here right now, but if you hit that play button, you will automatically receive new positive EV bets. Let me tell you how this impacts you. You can look at that positive EV live while you're sitting with your phone, and you can find plays, folks. I made $100 the other night, actually last night, considering that I had 3 big losses. I was only down a couple of units. A lot of that had to do with live positive EV. In the meantime, I want to take a look at a couple of things here on the positive EV page. I'm just going to throw these out here and ask you guys what you think as we go along here. All right, there we go. Trey Jones, over 1.5 steals, is on Chalkboard. Chalkboard is a DFS platform that we just added. I was curious about this. Kawhi under on his points and rebounds. Most everything on Kawhi today has been on the under. What did Randall tell us? Pelicans or Clippers coming off a 7-game road trip. Is this where you fade the Clippers and take the Pelicans? And do you fade Kawhi right now? Jabari, what do you think?
No, absolutely not. He's been over that line last 5 games straight, and I don't even need to look the stats up to even tell you that. But the last probably 5-6 games straight, Kawhi's been over 33.5. You could check my math, but don't do that. They're going to be at home. They're on fire. Number 1 team in the West.
Okay.
So
Here's something that if I were you guys, I would jump on if you have the opportunity. Because, we're starting to get a few more college basketball player props. And they've come out with them more this year than they did last year. But they're starting to hit the EV page a little bit more. People aren't sharp on this.
I got Baycott last night over 8.5 rebounds. Yeah, on the positive EV page, and he ended up with 13. I know North Carolina lost that game, but 8.5 rebounds felt pretty low for a guy like that. So I definitely jumped on that one.
Well, I would take that rink masked one too. I mean, over 14.5. I think it's a good play. Maple Leafs. Now this is on Circa, -1.5 at +192. You don't know how bad I want to take that bet. You just don't know how bad I want to. But it's a +192, and that scares the hell out of me.
Oh no.
I do want to take Mabel's the Leafs money line tonight. I was looking at that earlier.
Yeah, another example. Yeah, another game here where both teams though have already played a game since the All-Star break, but the Leafs having that loss to the Islanders the other night, I think I don't think they lose 2 in a row at home, despite Dallas being a really good team.
No, but it's hard to take that puck line. I mean, last night, if you had the puck line. You had Vegas -1.5. You were sweating it at the end, and here they get an empty net goal. Makes a difference in a bet. It's scary. What about Tatum over on rebounds? Anybody on that?
I have seen it, yeah, and he's going to be playing a Atlanta that's actually going to have no Capella, so his rebound chances statistically will go up. 9, kind of hefty. You're pretty much betting on him to almost have a double-double. But he should be able to do it with no Capella. He should be able to pull it on now. Last game against them this year, I think he had 9 on the dot.
Yeah, I like that play. Tatum's kind of a hustle rebounder too. I mean, he goes after the ball on rebounds. He definitely will commit to those. So he's not the kind of guy that just stands around waiting for it to come. I mean, he'll go after it and get it. So I don't mind that one at all.
Harden over on assists.
I mean, I feel like you have to ride it. Just the way he's been dishing lately, and as hot as they've been. You've got guys knocking down shots a lot. Terrence Mann hitting shots. I mean, I like it.
You got me convinced. Only one of you has to convince me.
There you go.
Okay. Donovan Mitchell over 31.5 points and rebounds. Why does that sound like a fucking killer play?
Because I mean he's playing Washington. Washington is garbage. The only comment that I have against this is blowouts.
Exactly.
That is the only gripe. It's not even statistical or anything like that. It's literally they may be blowing them out by 25, 30 in the first half. So
let's do a half a unit on that.
I'm fine with that. I mean, Donovan Mitchell can definitely get 30 plus in points alone. But yeah, that's the only worry I have too is blowout city here, and Mitchell's sitting a lot because this game is over.
He's been shooting the 3 ball real good lately. So anything you come across with Donovan Mitchell on positive EV, you either use it or lose it at this point.
I got to get away from all those player props. There are a ton of them. Let me go to main and alternate markets. Let's see what we got out here in regards to totals, which, by the way, Jabari, positive EV and totals, friggin' has been huge. Except in the NBA. You're not going to believe this, but the Clippers game, which wound up at 290 points, 288 points. I caught it live at under 270, and within 3 seconds, it went down to 265.5. But somehow they went crazy and wound up with almost a 300-point game. Is that insane or what, guys?
Yeah, that's nuts.
All right. What about the Pelicans in the first half money line? Yay or nay?
I mean, the Clippers sometimes start out slow, you know.
Okay. That's all I needed to know. I'm staying away from it. Alabama Auburn. You got a ladder play here that's got several rungs. Let me find out. Under 162.5. 162. Under 161.5. Under 161. And under 160.5. Under 160. Under 160.5 too. My goodness. That's a hell of a ladder. It's hard to pass those up. Ask Stephen Batza. He'll tell you. I'd roll with it at least for 4 rungs.
Okay.
That's my opinion. But you know what? What in the hell do I know? I lost my ass to you last night.
Yeah, you did.
I got to make $5 a month payments.
Yeah, and your first payment's due. So we need to get that taken care of. And by the way, you will be charged interest.
Let me give you 5.
Yeah. You will be charged interest, so keep that in mind. This is something you didn't want to get involved in, Bob. I'm telling you, you didn't want to get involved with me like this.
Like going to mob boss, huh?
Yeah.
My God, are you kidding me? He can't even
I own you now, buddy.
You
are mine right now until you pay up.
He can't even say forget about it. I mean, forget about it.
I'm never going to forget about that.
Boss. No mob boss. All right. Jabari, total in this game, the Super Bowl. I mean, I'm going to tell you what my prediction for the final score is, because Justin and I have the exact same prediction and never talked about it. Chiefs 28, Niners 24. That's 52 points. That's over. Do you feel the over, or do you feel? I feel the over in this game.
I do as well. Reason I say is because this is comparable to the Chiefs-Eagles Super Bowl. You had a defense and an offense coming in. Kansas City's defense was still questioned. I think it's slightly better now. But that game had 73 points in it. It's 38-35. So,
right.
Hey. Okay. There's a bet. I want to check and see if it's still on Bovada. There's a bet for there to be points scored in every quarter. I think I might take that, because last time they played the Eagles, there was at least 10 points in every quarter.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt we're seeing some points in this game. I'm going to stay away from the total, though. Just not feeling it. But I would have to agree that we see some points in this game. And, I think that San Francisco, their defense is just, as much as I like them, most of the season, I think they're going to give up some points here to Mahomes and company, and that's going to force them, obviously, to have to go blow for blow, which they can do. I think they can put points up on this Chiefs defense, because this is a different team than Baltimore offensively, a lot more weapons and a lot more guys to worry about. Whereas with Baltimore, let's just focus on Lamar, right? And we're okay. This little different. What if Ayuk decide? I mean, you got to pay attention to him. He's a big play guy, man. You got to watch out for him. If Kittle, you don't know.
Especially when it bounces off the defender's helmet. He's dangerous in that situation for sure.
Yeah, that was crazy. But we see those kinds of things happen. Remember the was it the Danny Amendola off, or was it Julian Edelman? It was one of them two in the Super Bowl against Atlanta. It landed right on him, and
it was Edelman. Yes.
And there's a little luck. I saw that on one of the ESPN things I was watching. They were like, there's been a little luck in almost every Super Bowl
Oh
where
yeah,
like one thing just turns your
yep,
way and it's just it happens.
yeah.
So
And I feel
thought
like
about it.
those good teams wait for that. The Patriots always had something go their way that turned even. I mean, throw out the Atlanta game where they had to have a lot happen. Let's face it. But even other Super Bowls they were in, they just wait on that one opportunity, and they take
But
advantage of it.
that Atlanta game, Julian Edelman caught that catch.
Oh yeah,
that everybody thought hit the ground and it didn't,
Right.
and then that turned the game around.
Yep.
That was all she wrote after that, right? And the other Super Bowls, I mean, Pats when they played the Rams, that was kind of defensive. The Rams, they almost lost that Super Bowl. I think it was to the Bengals. But what turned it around for the Bengals? I mean, Rams just their defense heated up. Aaron Donald was just getting hyped up. And then that was happening. OBJ came back out. Remember, he tore his ACL in that Super Bowl. That happened. What else happened? The Giants, both of the Giants Super Bowls, they beat the Pats in. First was the helmet catch. David Tyree, and then the other one, I forgot what happened in. But
that sideline catch.
Yeah.
Sideline pass. Yeah.
yeah. So
who was that?
Yeah. Who was that receiver?
his
Manning,
name.
He dropped it like right in.
Was
there.
it Manningham?
Yeah, Mario Manningham.
Was it Mario Manningham?
I think so.
Yeah, that's who it was. Yes.
So you're gonna have that one play, and pretty much I feel like every Super Bowl. And the Niners, we've kind of used up all our luck. Brandon Ayuk catching a catch of somebody's helmet that they're hitting the ground, ball bonks them in the helmet, and Ayuk catches it. Like our luck is gone. We came back and have gotten lucky 2 times in a row. I doubt it happens.
Actually, dude, that was off the face mask. Yeah. Off his face mask, and then bounces straight up in the air. Crazy. All right, let's get to who's balling and who's pucking, and I'm going to start out with who's pucking tonight. I'm going to take the Toronto Maple Leafs in Austin Matthews for one reason. Dallas got lucky as hell last night to beat Buffalo. Ottinger, once again, can I put this out here? Stood on his head.
Game.
Well, he did. He had 47 saves, man.
So that's all it was. It was nothing. It was just.
It was outstanding. Mike, you've watched enough hockey over the years. Have you not heard the phrase that a goalie steals games? Just
sure.
like
it happens for every team, not just the ones you lose and bet. Wrongly.
I didn't lose that one.
No, but that's how it happens. When you lose a bet, all the goalie stood on his head and stole the game. But if you win the bet, the other goalie. Unreal, man.
God darn it, leave me alone.
Well,
this isn't Attack Bob night.
I don't want the excuses.
I'm not making an excuse. I'm telling you that
get your pick. We don't care about Ottinger's head and standing on it.
The Maple Leafs.
We don't care about Ottinger.
Are you not listening? Are you not listening? Quit interrupting. I'm taking the Maple Leafs and Austin Matthews.
Okay.
All right, that's who's bucking.
There you go.
Can I talk to somebody sane like you?
Okay. You want my pick?
Yeah, tell me what you got. Are you balling or pucking?
I'm balling. Who's balling tonight is going to be Donovan Mitchell for me. Great matchup. Okay. Washington stinks. He's been on the heater from the 3-ball lately.
Okay. All right. Mike, you pucking or balling?
I'll be balling tonight as well, and I will go with the Boston Celtics, but I'm going to go with Jason Tatum tonight. I think he's going to ball out for us, so we will roll with that.
Okay, all right. I was hoping you were not going to say who's pucking because I was going to tell you to shut the puck up. But anyway.
All luck. Puck luck for me, huh?
There's a lot of puck luck out there. Now, if you don't know that or you don't understand that, then you can't comprehend the sport. And go to football and basketball and the easy sports.
I
wouldn't call basketball easy the way these blowouts been going.
Now understand, okay? Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good night, folks. Peace out. Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Someone
you,
check on
Jabari.
Aiden Hill's head after standing on it last night.
Jabari, thank you for being a gentleman.
No problem.